Hey, what's up, guys? Yesterday I had mentioned that we had a regression coming, and sure enough, it hit yesterday. So I'll talk about that a little bit as a quick breakdown recap. However, we do have two very strong plays in the NBA today, so make sure you stick around for that. I'll show a little bit of a better breakdown of why I did this today. We have one parlay in the NBA when we have one straight. Also, I want to quickly say some people they just can't handle losses. I mean, this is part of the game. If you cannot take one day losing and stuff like that. Last month we literally had 7 losing days and then 21 winning days. So you have to take the wins with the losses. Just yesterday was just one of those days. So, for example, I'm going to do the quick recap on Atlanta. Even though they won the game, we lost the bet. So I'll explain that in the recap. Let me get straight to it. I'm going to give you guys two plays today. We did have a parlay that hit in the NBA, and then we had the Hawks. So the Hawks, I should have known better. They were, there were a couple of stats that it was actually questionable earlier in the day. The Lakers came back very strong. They went into overtime and stuff like that, but the Hawks ended up winning by 2 points. We had them to win by 4. So if I would have took the money line, I actually even said that if you're less of a risk adverse person, then you should have went with the money line. But anyways, we went with the -4 and we took the L. That was the day for yesterday. So we finally, we were up like 3 or 4 or 5 days. I can't remember exactly. It was like 4 or 5 days on a winning streak, and then that came to an end yesterday. So today we're on a bounce back. Let me share with you the two plays. If you haven't done so, make sure you click on the link in the description, and then or go to beastsportspicks.com, and from there you're going to see a link that says free picks. That's where you're going to get all the free picks, all the alerts on your phone, the emails, and all that stuff. It's going to be all in the free picks. Now, if you're interested in VIP, if you type in the word Beast Week, we'll give you guys 50% off. Again, we have some losing days, we have some winning days. Overall, I'm going to share with you guys what I hit on last month. So again, you can see here, we did have about 7 losing days in November, but overall picture, we were up $1,700. So again, this is with the free picks and the VIP picks, everything like that. We also do something called positive EV and arbitrage and things like that. So some of these numbers are a little bit skewed because there's other wins and other losses, stuff like that. But anyway, overall picture, you have to be able to put up with losing days and winning days. So the first team I want to talk about is the Cleveland Cavaliers. These guys have been an absolute monsters this entire season. If they continue playing very strong and they don't get injuries, they might just be the champions this year. They are playing very well. The Cavaliers are 8-2 in the last 10 games against the spread. You can see some over-under information. However, just in general for this image, I want to show you that this is a very strong team. They've covered spreads 8 out of the last 10 games. You can also see here that the Cavs have heavy betting support, 75% of the bets, 81% of the money. There's a strong line move from 11.5 to 13.5. So they were already heavily favored at 11.5. Now they're actually at 13.5. This is a very strong indication if they're that heavily favored, and then they become even more heavily favored. And that has a lot to do with sharp money, public money, all this stuff. The books have to adjust to recuperate some of that money. So that's why the line moves in that direction. So right here, it's telling you that the reinforces a -13.5 play. That's not my play. This is just the recommendations of what they're saying. So I'm going to tell you guys, like I said in the beginning of this video, there's going to be a 2-leg parlay, which these guys are going to be part of. And then I'm going to do one straight. So the Cavs are looking very good. So you can see here the projections are saying they're going to win by 18 points. I don't trust it. The Hornets have been covering spreads recently. I don't trust it at that super high number, but these are professional people. They go through every number and every stat at home, all this stuff. This is what the experts are saying, that they're going to win by 18 points. So that it just gives us more juice on where I'm going with this play. So like I just said, the projected score is 119 to 101. Cavaliers are heavy favorites with a strong against the spread record of 17-6 in the last 23 games. Hornets are outmatched right here. So anyways, like I said, these are heavily juiced. We're going to get these guys at a -6, and then we're going to parlay that together with this next team. Let me just tell you what this is. So the second team we're looking at is the Nuggets. You can see here they're projected to win by 17 points. They're heavily favored. They're -14. They started at like a -10. Now they're -14. The Wizards are just horrible. I mean, we've been fading them all season, and we've been cashing. So the Nuggets lean right now is -14. But that's such a high number because they're not covering spreads. I think they're like 4-6 in the last 10. So you got to be careful with that huge spread. Even though the Wizards are horrible, the Nuggets are decent. This is a super big spread. So you got to be careful with that. Now, as you see here, the Wizards, they're 3-7. So they're not even covering spreads. They're losing. They've lost 16 straight games in the last 10 games. So I'm sorry, they've lost 16 straight games. And when they lose by 9 points or more. So even with all that information, I'm still going to have to buy it back. I don't trust the Nuggets to cover this huge spread. So we're actually going to buy it back. So this is actually the play that we're going with. It's going to be the Cavaliers -6 and the Nuggets -7. If you parlay both of those together, it's a -152. From the information I give you, you can kind of move those lines any which way you want. This is what I'm personally going with. This is where my money's at. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm going to share one more play with you. That's going to be a straight bet. So one more time, if you don't want to miss out on these plays, please subscribe on here. Click on free picks, the link in the bio, click on free picks. And then from there, you'll get all the free picks directly to your phone and your email. And then if you want a VIP offer, you can click on those. You have different options right there. Those VIP and free picks are in the link in the description. Otherwise, you can go directly to beastsportspicks.com. So the next team I'm going to talk about, this is more of a contrarian play. What that means is that the public is kind of on the other team and we're on the opposite side. And I'll explain why. First of all, the Boston, they're tired. They played yesterday. Boston does not cover spreads. So here's the first one. It's going to be the Grizzlies. They're covering spreads 7 out of 10 games in the last 10. You see here, Boston doesn't cover spreads. They've only covered the spread twice in the last 10 games. The projected score does say that the Boston's going to win, even though they're tired, even though they're fatigued, even though they played yesterday. They does show that they're still going to win, and it shows they're going to win by 8. However, we're actually buying that back to plus 8.5 for the Grizzlies. So again, it's more of a contrarian play. What that means is that we're kind of going against the public. The public's all over the Celtics. However, you have to understand that the Grizzlies is a strong team. They're covering spreads 7-3 in the last 10. Boston is not covering spreads. It's they've only covered 20% of the time, and they're tired. They played yesterday. So we're going with the Grizzlies plus 8.5. If you like this sort of information, make sure you click on subscribe, like the video, comment if you don't agree, comment if you agree. Doesn't matter. Just if you're commenting and I'll respond to every comment, we can have a conversation about it. That helps the algorithm get pushed out. And click on that like button. That helps me get pushed out so that I can be motivated to give you guys more and more free plays. Thank you so much. Have a good day.